All right, so dream interpretation, right? We're going deep today with excerpts from the AZ of dream
Oh
interpretation.
yeah, that one's a classic.
I know. It always seems like whenever I have a really vivid dream, I wake up and think, what was that all about?
Right, like what's my brain trying to tell me?
Exactly. And I love that this book seems to have like both psychological and spiritual interpretations,
It does.
which I'm really into. And get this, it even has gender-specific meanings for some
Oh
symbols.
wow, I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah, it's super interesting. But one thing that jumps out right away from the intro
Mm.
is that there's no like one-size-fits-all way to interpret dreams.
Oh, absolutely not.
It's not like looking up a word in a dictionary.
Right. It really depends on the individual, their own experiences and background and all that.
Exactly. Like you have to find the meaning that resonates with you based on your own life.
You got it. And speaking of finding meaning, one thing the book stresses is keeping a dream journal.
Oh, a dream journal. So many
Mhm.
people have told me to do that.
I know, right? But honestly, it's really key to understanding those recurring themes and symbols that pop up in your dreams.
Yeah, it's true. I'm so bad about forgetting my dreams the second I get out of bed. I wonder, do you think it would work to keep a voice recorder by my bed? Because I know the book even mentions that as an option.
Absolutely. That's a great idea. It's the perfect way to capture those raw emotions and that initial imagery before your brain starts, editing
Oh,
everything.
for sure. It's got to be like a direct line to your subconscious.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's fascinating stuff.
Now, I know the book goes into a lot of different dream theories.
Hmm.
To be honest, I'm a little rusty on those. Can you refresh my memory?
Of course.
Uh-huh.
Of course. So one of the big ones, one that I find really fascinating, is Kelvin Hall's cognitive theory,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
which basically states that dreams are a reflection of how we view ourselves and our relationships.
Okay, so it's not about like predicting the future or getting secret messages, but more about understanding our own inner world.
Precisely. Think of it this way. If you dream about being lost, it doesn't necessarily mean you're afraid of physically getting lost.
Yeah.
It might actually be about feeling lost or uncertain in your life direction. Dreams are like they're metaphorical.
Right, using all those symbols and stuff.
Exactly, to express our feelings, our
Yeah.
anxieties, all that good stuff.
I get it.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other theories that we see in the book?
Well, there's the Gestalt approach. This one was developed by Fritz Perls, and it really emphasizes wholeness.
Wholeness.
Yeah. So basically, every part of your dream, even the smallest details,
Yep.
they represent different facets of yourself.
Oh,
And some of these might be parts that you've ignored or even rejected in your waking life.
so it's almost like those dreams are trying to help us like become more complete, more integrated versions of ourselves.
Exactly. By giving a voice to each element of the dream, we can kind of reclaim those fragmented parts and feel more balanced.
Wow. That's pretty powerful.
It is.
Like it's already changing how I view dreams.
I hear you. It's definitely thought-provoking.
Now, what about anxiety dreams? Those are the ones that always kind of stick with me.
Oh, those are, yeah,
Sometimes I wake up feeling anxious from them.
it happens to the best of us. But here's the thing. Even anxiety dreams can be incredibly valuable.
Okay.
It's like they're giving your subconscious a safe space to process fears, worries, all that stuff you might not be addressing in your daily life.
So my brain is like, hey, let's work this out, but in a dream where it's safe.
That's a great way to put it. So instead of getting caught up in the scary imagery,
Right.
try to really tune in to those emotions the dream
Well,
evokes.
I never thought of it like that.
Because acknowledging and processing those feelings can actually help you manage anxiety in real life.
Wow. That's amazing. It kind of makes me less afraid of those anxiety dreams.
Exactly. They're not your enemy.
I know, right?
They're actually trying to help you.
Okay, and I'm really curious about what the book says about the spiritual side of dreams. Because, there's always that feeling like dreams are tapping into something deeper.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the book does delve into that, suggesting that spiritual imagery in dreams can often point to a deeper truth or a connection to something beyond ourselves.
So it's not just about our personal psychology, but maybe connecting to something bigger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like tapping into the collective unconscious.
Yeah.
And a lot of times this comes through in the form of archetypes.
Oh, those recurring symbols, kind of like the ones you see in myths and stuff.
Precisely. But here's the thing. While these symbols might have universal meanings,
Okay.
how we interpret them is very personal. you know?
So it's like a universal language, but with different accents.
I like that. That's a perfect way to put it.
Okay, so what kind of specific spiritual dream symbols does the book talk about?
Well, where should we start? What jumps out at you?
Okay, let's see. I've always been kind of fascinated by dreams about religious imagery,
Okay? Yeah.
like churches or temples. What's the significance of that?
Ah, that's a great one. Dreaming of religious buildings like that often points to a need for
Sanctuary.
sanctuary.
Yeah.
It could mean that you're seeking a connection to the divine or a sense of peace, renewal, you know.
That makes total sense. I feel like in a crazy world, it's natural to want that feeling of peace,
Of course.
especially in our dreams.
Yeah, it's a safe haven. And another really powerful symbol the book highlights is transformation.
Transformation.
It uses the image of a flower opening to represent that process of growth and change,
Oh, that's beautiful imagery.
isn't it? It's like your dreams are showing you that change is natural, even beautiful, despite the challenges it might bring.
I love that.
Now, on a slightly darker note, the book also discusses Jung's concept of the shadow.
Oh, yeah, the shadow. Isn't that like the hidden part of ourselves, the side we tend to reject or deny?
Exactly. And the book says it often appears in dreams as if you're of the same sex as the dreamer.
Oh, wow, interesting.
It embodies those parts of yourself that you consider unacceptable, the qualities you try to suppress.
So, like, confronting our shadow in our dreams can actually help us become more whole.
Exactly. It's about understanding its message
Yeah.
and integrating those parts of ourselves that we might be afraid of.
Okay, so it's not always about scary monsters. Maybe it's about facing ourselves.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes the scariest monster is the one we see in the mirror, right?
It's true. All right, what about, speaking of guidance, what about angels? Those always seem like positive symbols.
Ah, yes, angels. Dreaming of angels can often indicate a yearning for that unconditional love, for support, that guidance we all need sometimes.
Yeah, it's like a reminder that we're not alone, that there's something bigger looking out for us.
Precisely. It's a very comforting image for a lot of people.
It is. And while those are just a few examples, I'm excited to dive into that AZ section of the book and really see what all these specific symbols mean.
Me too. But remember, context is everything, A symbol can have totally different meanings depending on your own associations and what else is happening in the dream.
Right. It's not just about looking up a word in a dictionary.
Exactly. It's about piecing together the whole story like a puzzle.
Okay, so are you ready to start decoding?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's jump into some examples. So what if someone dreams about being abandoned?
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. Dreams of abandonment, they tap into really deep-seated fears, especially ones rooted in early childhood. Those experiences can really shape us.
Yeah, I can see that. It's like those early experiences create this, like, a blueprint for our fears.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Dreaming of abandonment can also represent a letting go of old beliefs.
Wait, so it could actually be a good thing?
It can.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a sign that you're ready to shed those things that are no longer serving you,
Oh, interesting.
those things that are holding you back.
Well, like, maybe it's my subconscious telling me to move on from something.
Precisely. It's all about recognizing what you need to release to grow and evolve.
Okay, that's fascinating. And what about if you dream about an accident? Because that's something that I know people worry about, if that means something bad's going to happen.
Oh, I know. That's a common one. But the book emphasizes that from a spiritual point of view, there are no accidents, only opportunities for growth and learning.
So it's not like a premonition.
Not necessarily. Think of it as a wake-up call from your subconscious.
Yeah.
It could be highlighting anxieties about safety, or maybe it's a nudge to be more mindful of your choices.
Oh, I get it. It's like my dream is saying, hey, pay attention.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So what if someone dreams about receiving advice?
Receiving advice, huh? That's an interesting one. Often that points to a need for guidance,
Okay.
a longing for change in your waking life. It's like
Yeah.
that wise inner voice trying to get through.
So if I'm struggling with a decision and then I dream about someone giving me advice, I should probably pay extra attention to what they're saying.
Absolutely. It could be your intuition guiding you towards the right path. And think about this. The book even says that accepting advice in a dream
Okay.
could mean that you're ready for a change while giving advice.
Oh, interesting.
Could mean that you possess valuable knowledge that you should be sharing.
That's a really cool distinction. I never thought of it that way.
It's fascinating, right?
It is. Okay, so what about animals?
Animals, they always
Okay.
add this like extra layer of symbolism to
Oh,
dreams.
for sure. I feel like they always represent some part of ourselves or maybe like our primal instincts.
You're spot on. The book talks about how each animal carries its own unique message, often reflecting parts of our personality or our relationship with nature.
Okay, so let's say someone dreams about an elephant. What does that symbolize?
Elephants, they're all about strength and wisdom. Your dream might be reminding you to tap into those qualities within yourself, to trust your instincts, you
Oh,
know?
I love that. It's like the elephant's this powerful symbol of resilience, of remembering, of really knowing your own strength.
Exactly. They're these wise, ancient creatures. Now, for a different vibe entirely, let's consider the fox. What comes to mind?
Ooh, foxes. They're definitely sneaky.
Aren't they? The book mentions how they're often associated with cunning and trickery.
So if I dream about a fox, that's probably not a good sign, right?
Well, it could be a sign to be extra cautious. Maybe someone in your life is not being completely honest. Or maybe you need to examine your own actions for any signs of deception.
Oh, that's a good reminder. It's like my dream is giving me a little heads up.
Exactly. Always trust your instincts. Now, what about frogs? I think those are pretty fascinating creatures.
Oh, yeah. I always think of them and how they transform from tadpoles, so maybe it's a good symbol.
You got it. Frogs are all about transformation, growth, adaptation.
It's that whole like embrace change kind of message.
Exactly. Even when things are challenging, you can come out of it stronger.
Love it. What about goats? I feel like those are I don't know, I feel like those are a little bit more complex, maybe.
You're right. Goats are a bit more nuanced.
Okay.
They can symbolize creativity, but they also have a darker side.
Oh, interesting. So it's like those dreams are reminding us that we all have those like light and shadow sides to ourselves.
Precisely. It's about acknowledging the full spectrum of our being.
I like that. So what about hares? What do those represent?
Hares. Oh, they're fascinating. They're often associated with intuition,
Oh,
with
baby.
spiritual insight.
So those like aha moments.
Exactly. Those moments of sudden clarity or
Oh, I
understanding.
love those.
And the book connects them to the moon.
The moon.
So it's like tapping into that mystical, intuitive energy.
I love that. It makes me want to pay more attention to like those intuitive nudges that I get.
It's definitely good practice.
What about horses?
Ah, horses. They're all about energy, vitality, that life force that drives us forward.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. They're so powerful.
Exactly. It's like your dream is reminding you of your own inner strength,
Mm.
that you have the power to achieve your goals.
That's really cool.
And, the book even delves into how the color of the horse can symbolize different things.
Oh wow, what does it say?
Well, like a white horse often represents spiritual awareness, while a brown horse represents practicality.
Okay.
And a black horse often symbolizes our passionate, instinctual side.
That's incredible. It's like our dreams are painting this really vivid portrait of ourselves.
Exactly. They're giving us a roadmap of our inner landscape.
Okay, so we've talked about individual animals, but what if someone dreams about the armed forces, like a whole like collective? What does that mean?
Oh, that's a good one. The book suggests that dreaming of the armed forces represents a kind of disciplined force for good.
Interesting.
It's about coming together
Yeah.
with diverse strengths to achieve a common goal.
So it's not necessarily about war or conflict, but more about that like power of teamwork and collaboration.
Exactly. It's harnessing your individual strengths and working together for something bigger than yourself. And the book even mentions that different branches can symbolize different approaches. Like, for instance, the Navy being connected to the sea,
Yeah.
that might symbolize a disciplined response to emotions. Whereas the Air Force, with its focus on flight and strategy, might represent more intellectual approach.
Whoa, that's so cool. It's like my dream is showing me different ways to approach
Oh,
challenges.
precisely. It's all about understanding the different tools at your disposal.
I get it. Okay, what if someone dreams about being attacked? Because that's got to be a scary one.
It is a scary one. I mean, nobody wants to feel threatened in their dreams.
Right.
But the book says that these types of dreams, they symbolize a sense of threat or vulnerability,
Okay.
either from external forces or internal conflicts.
So it could be about actual threats in our lives,
You could.
or maybe about our own insecurities.
Precisely. It's like your dream is urging you to protect your personal boundaries.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
And what if you're the one doing the attacking?
Interesting. That's a good question. If you're the attacker, it might suggest you need to assert yourself more in your waking life.
To maybe be more direct, stand up for myself, that kind of thing.
You got it.
Okay, I get it. So what about beards? What do those mean in dreams?
Beards. Well, they often represent wisdom,
Oh, yeah.
but also deceit.
Oh, interesting.
It's a tricky one. It's about looking beyond appearances, you know,
Yeah.
discerning between genuine wisdom and those who might be using your knowledge to manipulate.
Okay, so it's like a trust but verify kind of thing.
Exactly. You've got to use your discernment. And the book also mentions how cutting a beard
Okay.
can symbolize a loss of power, especially for men.
I can see that. Like maybe society equates beards with masculinity and strength.
It definitely plays into those societal norms and expectations.
Okay, that's fascinating. So what about bills? Because honestly, I hate getting bills in real life.
Oh, tell me about it. Nobody likes those.
But I am curious what they symbolize.
Well, according to the book, bills, especially those requests for payment, often represent a kind of spiritual cost to our
The
actions.
spiritual cost. Okay, what does that mean?
It's a reminder that everything has a price,
Okay.
not just financially,
Yeah.
but also in terms of our energy, our time, and, the consequences of our choices.
Whoa, that is deep.
It is, right?
It's like my dream is saying, hey, pay attention to how you're spending your resources, not just your money, but also your time.
Exactly. It's about being mindful.
Eh?
And speaking of resources, what about body parts?
Body parts. Okay, so our bodies are essential for, our physical well-being.
Yeah.
But what do they represent symbolically in dreams?
That's a great question. Dreaming about specific body parts can often provide insights into different aspects of yourself, whether it's physical, emotional, or even spiritual.
I see. So it's like our dreams are speaking to us through the language of our own bodies.
Exactly. It's like your dream is giving you a personalized message using the symbolism of your body.
I like that. So what are some examples?
Well, take the thumb, for example. The book says the thumb often symbolizes power and awareness,
Okay.
and the direction it's pointing in your dream could indicate whether that power is being used in a positive or negative way.
Wow, that's really interesting. It's like my dream is giving me feedback on how I'm using my power.
Exactly.
Okay, what about other body parts?
Well, the tongue, for example, often represents communication
Ah, okay.
and the power of our words.
Oh, that's a good reminder.
Right. Choose your words wisely.
Definitely. Okay, and then I know you mentioned there are gender-specific interpretations.
There are, yeah. For instance, the book mentions the vagina.
Okay.
For women, this often symbolizes self-image and receptivity,
Okay.
whereas for men, it can signify a need to be more assertive in their approach.
That's fascinating. It really makes you think about how much our dreams are influenced by those societal expectations around gender roles.
It's a really interesting point. And speaking of those powerful feminine symbols, what about the womb?
The womb, oh, that's got to be a really powerful symbol. Like it's the source of creation, right?
It is. It's about new beginnings, nurturing those primal feminine energies.
I love that. It's like returning to our origins, to that place of pure potential.
Exactly. And for women, it can be especially potent,
Hmm.
representing that connection to their creative power.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, switching gears a little bit, let's think about a bonfire. What comes to mind there?
Bonfires, I think of warmth, transformation, and even like a little bit of magic, It feels really, really powerful and cleansing.
You're right on track. The book says that dreaming of a bonfire often symbolizes cleansing and transformation, that process of letting go of old patterns.
Oh, like burning away those old habits and beliefs that no longer serve us.
Precisely. It's about making space for new beginnings, for a fresh start.
I love that imagery. It's so powerful. And what about brides and bridegrooms? What's the significance of those in dreams?
Dreaming of a bride or bridegroom often symbolizes that yearning for partnership,
Okay.
a deep connection with another soul.
It's like that longing for a soulmate, for someone to share your life with.
Exactly. It's a beautiful symbol of union and commitment.
Yeah, I can see that. And what about bridals?
Bridals, huh? Well, they're all about restraint, control,
Okay.
guiding that powerful energy.
So maybe it's about like harnessing our impulses or focusing our attention.
You got it. The book even suggests that the material of the bridle can offer further insights.
Really? Like what kind of materials?
Well, like a bridle made of flowers might represent a gentler form of self-control, while a leather bridle might suggest a stricter approach.
That's so cool. It's like my dream is giving me a customized instruction manual for self-mastery.
I love that. It's all about those subtle details. Now, for a symbol that's often associated with the feminine principle, let's talk about buckets.
Buckets. That's a new one. I guess I would think of them as being practical. And maybe connected to water, which, often represents emotions.
You're right on track. Buckets, they often symbolize the feminine principle,
Okay.
a practical approach to problem solving, and they're also linked to the womb.
Oh, wow. So maybe it's about tapping into our intuition, our nurturing instincts, those kinds of things.
Precisely. And here's a tip. The condition of the bucket in your dream can be really telling.
Okay, what do you mean?
Like a bucket with a hole in it could symbolize a loss of energy or resources, while a bucket that's overflowing might mean you're feeling overwhelmed by emotions.
Whoa, that's a great point. I'll definitely be paying attention to that next time I dream about a bucket.
I think we all will. All right, let's move on to buildings.
Buildings. Okay, those seem like they could have a lot of different meanings.
They do. The book suggests that buildings often represent different facets of ourselves.
Okay.
Our personalities, beliefs, experiences.
That makes sense.
It's like the architecture of your waking life mirroring the inner architecture of your mind.
I love that.
So, for instance, rooms often represent different parts of our personality.
Okay.
Upstairs rooms typically symbolize mental or spiritual attributes,
Oh, interesting.
while basements, those
Oh,
also
yeah.
represent those parts of ourselves that we've kind of suppressed or hidden away.
Like my dream is giving me a blueprint of my inner world.
Exactly. And then you have doors,
Doors.
which often symbolize new opportunities or blocked paths, depending on whether they're open or closed.
So it's all about potential pathways and choices.
Precisely. And then you have stairs. Those always symbolize the effort needed to reach our goals.
Stairs. Oh, yeah, those can be a struggle.
Yeah.
But they do lead you to a higher level.
Exactly. And the book talks about how climbing stairs could symbolize moving toward spiritual awareness, while descending stairs might signify a journey into the unconscious.
Whoa, that's powerful. It's like my dream is showing me that growth and evolution require effort, but the view from the top is worth it.
I love that. It's a great metaphor for life, isn't it?
It is. Okay, what about if someone dreams about a burglar? Because that's got to be a scary one.
It is. It is. I mean, nobody wants to feel violated.
Right.
And the book says that dreaming of a burglar often does symbolize a violation of personal space.
Okay.
It could be highlighting areas of your life where you're feeling unsafe, vulnerable.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But here's an interesting twist. A burglar could also represent a neglected part of yourself that's seeking attention.
Oh, interesting. So it's like what we fear most might actually be a part of ourselves that we've been pushing away.
Exactly. It's all about those shadow aspects.
Okay, that's really insightful. Now, what about canoes? What do those represent?
Canoes. Oh, I love those. I always think of adventure, exploration, navigating those uncharted waters.
Right. It's like that sense of venturing into the unknown.
Exactly. And the book says that dreaming of a canoe often symbolizes our ability to navigate our emotions.
Ah, okay. So like navigating those turbulent waters of our subconscious.
Precisely. Those deeper emotional currents that we all experience.
Okay, and is that a good sign?
I think so.
Mm.
It shows you have the inner strength to face your emotional challenges and emerge even stronger.
Yeah, I love that. It's like that reminder that we're all capable of navigating those choppy waters and coming out on the other side.
Exactly. You're the captain of your own ship, charting your course.
I love that. Okay, so what about churning? What does that mean?
Churning. That's an interesting one.
Right. It's not something you dream about every day.
It's not. It's a bit unusual. But the book connects it to that primal sense of chaos, like
Yeah.
that need to reassess your creative abilities and harness that energy to create order.
Whoa, that is deep. So it's about like embracing the chaos and trusting that something beautiful can emerge from it.
Exactly. It's about transformation and those intense emotional experiences that can lead to growth.
Wow, that is powerful. It's like my dream is reminding me that even the most challenging experiences can lead to something good if we're willing to like lean into the process.
Precisely. It's all about perspective and trust.
Okay. So what about if you dream about a cliff, like standing on the edge?
Ah, cliffs. Those are often about taking a leap of faith.
Yeah, they definitely evoke a sense of like the unknown, those big decisions, those risks.
Exactly. Dreaming of a cliff often symbolizes stepping into the unknown, making those choices that can have really big consequences, for better or for worse.
Whoa, it's like that feeling of being on the precipice of a major life change.
Precisely. It's about courage, intuition, and trusting yourself to make the right decision.
I can definitely relate to that feeling. Okay, so what about climate? Like weather, is that symbolic in dreams?
It is. It often reflects your own emotional climate.
Okay, so if I dream about a thunderstorm, maybe that means I'm feeling stressed and overwhelmed.
It could. Or if you dream about a sunny day, maybe you're feeling peaceful and content.
That makes sense. It's like my dream is giving me a weather report of my own inner world.
Exactly. It's a reflection of what's going on inside. And speaking of inner worlds, what about conflict in dreams?
Oh, conflict. I think we all experience that both internally and externally. What does that symbolize?
Dreaming of conflict often represents those opposing forces within yourself, conflicting desires, beliefs, those internal struggles.
So it's like those battles that we're having with ourselves, those competing voices in our heads.
Precisely. And it can also represent conflicts you're facing in your waking life,
Okay.
maybe with your family, friends, colleagues.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's like your dreams giving you a safe space to work through those conflicts.
Okay, yeah, I get it. What about chords?
Chords, huh? Okay, so chords can be used to connect things, tie things together,
Yeah.
create a lifeline. So I would imagine that they symbolize relationships, maybe those attachments that we have in our lives. You're right on track. The book suggests that dreaming of a chord often symbolizes those ties that bind us, those connections that can both restrict and liberate us.
That's interesting. So it's like those relationships that can bring us joy and support, but also maybe those that feel a little bit constricting.
Exactly. It's about understanding the dual nature of those connections. And the book even mentions the silver cord, that spiritual link between our physical body and our soul.
Whoa, that's pretty deep. It's like our dreams are reminding us that there's more to us than just this physical body.
Precisely. There's that spiritual dimension that connects us to something larger than ourselves.
Okay, so what about crocodiles? What do those represent in dreams?
Oh, crocodiles. They definitely evoke a primal fear.
Oh yeah, they're scary.
They are. They're powerful creatures. And the book suggests that dreaming of a crocodile often symbolizes those primal fears, those instincts that we try to bury deep down.
So it's like those shadow aspects of ourselves that we're maybe afraid to face.
Exactly. It's about acknowledging those darker impulses, those things that we might consider unacceptable or even dangerous.
It's like our dreams are giving us a chance to confront those fears in a safe space.
That's a great way to put it. And it's interesting, the book has a gender-specific interpretation for this one, too.
Oh, what's that?
For men, dreaming of a crocodile can often symbolize a fear of emasculation,
Okay.
while for women, it might represent a fear of negative masculinity.
That's really interesting. It's like our dreams are reflecting those societal expectations and fears that we carry.
Exactly. It's about understanding how those external influences shape our inner world. Now, shifting gears a bit, what about darts?
Darts.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think of aiming for a target, like
Yeah.
concentration, focus, but also a little bit of danger maybe if you're not careful.
You got it. The book mentions how darts often symbolize focus, discipline, that power of our words.
Oh, the power of words. That's a big one.
It is. It's about choosing your words carefully, honing your skills, being intentional with your actions.
Okay, so it's like my dream is reminding me to be mindful of my thoughts and actions and to really, really make sure that I'm aiming for my goals.
Exactly. And the book even points out that darts can represent sharp words or criticisms that can wound,
Mm.
you know.
Oof. Yeah, I've definitely been on the receiving end of those.
We all have. It's a reminder to be mindful of the impact our words can have.
For sure, for
Right
sure.
on.
Okay, so what about decisions? I feel like I often wake up from those dreams feeling stressed out.
Ah, yes. Dreams about decisions. Those often highlight those crossroads we encounter in life.
Yeah, right.
Those points where we have to choose between different paths.
It's like my subconscious is giving me a chance to practice making those tough choices, but without any real consequences.
That's a great way to think about it.
Uh,
And it can be especially helpful if you're facing a big decision in your waking life.
Yeah.
The dream might be a way for you to explore those different options and kind of weigh the potential outcomes.
Oh, that's interesting. It's like those dreams are giving us a safe space to rehearse for those big life decisions.
Precisely. So pay attention to those. Now, what about dreams of going down? Like descending a staircase or a mountain?
Descending, huh? Well, it definitely evokes that sense of going deeper, maybe into those hidden parts of ourselves.
You're right on track. Those descending dreams, they often symbolize a journey into the unconscious,
Okay.
exploring those hidden parts, facing fears, maybe even seeking wisdom.
It's like my dream is telling me to go spelunking in my own psyche.
I love that analogy. And it can feel a little unsettling,
Oh, for sure.
right? Like venturing into the unknown.
Yeah.
But it can also be about grounding, connecting
Mhm.
with your physical body,
Mhm.
the practical side of life.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's about finding that balance.
Exactly. So what about embryos? What do you think about when you think of those?
Embryos. Well, I think of new beginnings, like pure potential, you know?
You got it. Embryos often represent those new beginnings and that untapped potential that's just waiting to emerge and unfold.
It's like that little seed of possibility just waiting to sprout and grow.
Exactly. And for women, it can be even more potent, symbolizing that connection to their creative power.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's like tapping into that source of life and creation.
Precisely. Now, for a slightly more mysterious symbol, let's consider the enchantress.
Oh, enchantresses. They're so intriguing.
Aren't they? They have that element of magic and mystery, but also danger.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to make of it if I saw one in my dreams.
Well, the book says that the enchantress often symbolizes the shadow side of the feminine,
Oh, the shadow side.
those aspects of yourself that you might fear or repress,
Wow.
like your sexuality, your power, or even your creativity.
Wow. So it's not necessarily a negative thing, but maybe those parts of ourselves that we haven't fully embraced.
Exactly. It's about reclaiming those aspects and integrating them into your whole self.
Now, what about evil? Have you ever had dreams about evil?
Oh, yeah, those are intense. It's like, what does it mean when something so dark shows up in my dreams?
Right. It can be pretty unsettling.
Well,
But remember, it's all about symbolism. The book says that dreaming of evil often symbolizes those shadow aspects of ourselves that
yeah.
we deem unacceptable, the negative thoughts, those impulses.
So it's not about literally being a bad person,
Right.
but more about like acknowledging those darker parts of ourselves.
Exactly. It's like your dreams are giving you a chance to confront those inner demons, to understand their influence, and to potentially even transform them into something positive.
Okay, that's actually a really empowering way to look at it.
It is. Now let's imagine you have a dream about an explosion.
Explosions. Ah, those are definitely intense.
They are.
I can't even imagine what that would feel like in a dream.
Well, the book suggests they often symbolize a sudden release of energy,
Okay.
the kind of breakthrough.
That shatters those old patterns, makes room for something new.
So it's like a really dramatic wake-up call.
It is. It can be a bit unsettling, but ultimately it's about clearing out the old to make way for the new.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, what about extraterrestrials?
Extraterrestrials. Oh, those are always fun.
I've had a few of those dreams. They're so strange and surreal.
They are, but they can be really meaningful. The book suggests they often symbolize those parts of ourselves that we don't fully understand,
Right.
or those experiences that are outside of our normal awareness.
It's like our dreams are introducing us to the mysteries of the universe, both within and beyond ourselves.
Exactly. And it could be a sign that you're ready to expand your horizons,
Yeah.
explore new ideas, maybe connect with those parts of yourself that you've been keeping hidden.
Okay, I like that. What about feathers? They're so light and delicate, so I feel like they'd have a positive meaning.
You're right. Feathers often symbolize spiritual awareness, messages from the divine, or even that ability to rise above challenges.
It's like they represent that freedom and lightness of being that we all crave.
Exactly. And the book even mentions how different colors can symbolize different things.
Okay.
Like white feathers often symbolize purity and innocence,
Okay.
whereas black feathers might represent a need to face your shadow side.
That's a really cool detail. It's like our dreams are giving us this personalized map of our spiritual journey.
Exactly. They're offering us guidance and insight along the way.
Okay, what about flowers?
Ah, flowers. They're all about growth, beauty, those things that are blossoming in your life.
Yeah, I love that. It's like they represent the things that are flourishing.
Exactly. They're a reminder to appreciate the abundance and the joy that's all around you.
Okay, what about a frontier?
Their frontier. Now that evokes a sense of adventure, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. New beginnings, pushing beyond our comfort zones, all that.
You got it. The book suggests that dreaming of a frontier often symbolizes those transitions in life,
Yeah.
where you're stepping into the unknown, leaving behind the familiar.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like that feeling of embarking on a new journey with all the excitement and uncertainty that comes with it.
Precisely. It's about embracing the unknown and trusting the process.
Okay, so what about fruit? I feel like that would have a positive meaning, you know?
Oh, definitely. Fruit is all about the sweetness of life, isn't it?
Yeah, those rewards, those moments of abundance and satisfaction.
Exactly. Dreaming of fruit often symbolizes those rewards, those accomplishments that you've earned through hard work and dedication.
It's like our dreams are giving us a taste of those sweet rewards that come from pursuing our passions and living in alignment with our purpose.
Precisely. It's about enjoying the fruits of your labor, so to speak.
I love that. Okay, so what about dreams that seem to give us like a glimpse of the future? What's the significance of those?
Dreams about the future, huh? Well, those often reflect your hopes, fears, expectations about what lies ahead. It's a way for your subconscious to process those anxieties and kind of explore those different possibilities.
So it's not necessarily about actually predicting the future, but more about how we feel about what might happen.
Precisely. It's about understanding your own relationship with the unknown.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so what about gems or jewels? They seem like they would be pretty symbolic.
They are. They often represent those things that you value most, those hidden talents, your inner beauty, those qualities that make you unique and precious.
So it's like our dreams are showing us our own inner treasures, those things that we might not always recognize or appreciate about ourselves.
Exactly. And like with flowers, different gems can carry different meanings. For example, diamond,
Diamonds.
symbolizing clarity and strength, whereas emerald represent growth and healing.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like our dreams are giving us this like personalized guide to our own inner riches.
I love that. And it reminds us to appreciate those unique qualities that make us who we are. Now, what about a symbol that embodies the divine feminine, the goddess?
Oh, the goddess. Yeah, I think of power, wisdom, those nurturing and creative forces that have been revered for centuries.
Exactly. Dreaming of a goddess often symbolizes a connection to those feminine qualities within yourself.
Okay.
Intuition, creativity, compassion, that inner wisdom.
So it's like my dream is reminding me to embrace those aspects of myself and to tap into that divine feminine energy that resides in all of us.
Precisely. And remember, different goddesses represent different archetypes, different energies.
Right. It's like a whole pantheon of feminine wisdom and power.
Exactly. And each one offers her unique gifts and guidance.
I love that. Okay, what about graffiti, like the kind you see on walls?
Graffiti, that's an interesting one. I always think of it as a form of self-expression.
Yeah.
Those messages that we want to broadcast to the world, those things we might not feel comfortable saying out loud.
Right. Right.
The book suggests that dreaming of graffiti often symbolizes those messages from your subconscious,
Okay.
those aspects of yourself that you're trying to make visible.
So it's like my dream is bypassing my conscious mind and giving voice to those unspoken thoughts or feelings.
Exactly.
Right.
And pay attention to the content and location of the graffiti.
Okay.
It can offer further insights. Like, for example, graffiti on a school building might symbolize rebellion against authority.
Oh, interesting. So it's about those areas where I'm feeling like stifled or restricted.
Precisely. It's about expressing yourself authentically.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. What about the Grail? Like the Holy Grail.
Ah, the Grail.
Yeah.
That evokes a sense of mystery, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's about those quests, those searches for spiritual enlightenment.
Exactly. Dreaming of the Grail often symbolizes a spiritual quest, a yearning for wholeness, for pursuing your highest potential.
It's like my dream is reminding me that I'm on a journey of self-discovery, that there's always more to learn and explore.
Precisely. And finding the Grail, in your dream,
Yeah.
that could represent reaching a really significant milestone on your spiritual path.
Wow, that's powerful. So what about graves? Because I know those can be a little bit unsettling to dream about.
They can.
Yeah.
They're definitely associated with those feelings of loss and endings.
Right, like maybe things that we've buried, either literally or figuratively.
Exactly. The book says dreaming of a grave often symbolizes those aspects of ourselves or those experiences that we've kind of laid to rest.
Okay.
Maybe confronting our own mortality, grieving losses,
Yeah.
letting go of what no longer serves us.
It's like our dreams are giving us a space to process those difficult emotions and to make peace with the past.
Precisely. And the book also suggests that digging a grave
Okay.
might represent a need for closure, while
Yeah.
visiting a grave
Yeah.
might symbolize honoring those we've lost.
Okay. Yeah, that's beautiful.
It is. So guilt. Guilt's another one of those heavy emotions, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Guilt can really weigh you down.
It can.
Yeah.
And the book suggests that dreaming of guilt often symbolizes those times when we've betrayed our values or acted in a way that goes against our integrity.
So it's like our conscience is kind of catching up with us in our dreams.
Exactly. And sometimes those dreams can be a nudge to forgive ourselves,
Yeah, I can see that.
to release those self-judgments that are keeping us stuck in the past.
It's like our dreams are reminding us that we're all human, we make mistakes,
Hmm.
and that the path to healing and growth really lies in forgiveness. Forgiveness of ourselves and others.
Exactly. What about helmets?
Helmets. Well, I think of safety, but
Yeah.
also like those activities that require us to be brave and to kind of face our fears.
You're right on track.
Yeah.
Helmets often symbolize a need for protection, whether it's physical, emotional, or even mental protection from those negative thoughts.
So it's like our dreams are showing us how we protect ourselves, those defenses that we put up.
Precisely. And, the type of helmet can offer more clues.
Okay.
Like a motorcycle helmet might symbolize a need to protect yourself from risk or danger,
Mm-hmm.
whereas a construction helmet might represent a need to shield yourself from criticism or negativity.
That's a really interesting distinction. It's like my dream is giving me a personalized guide to self-protection.
Exactly. It's about understanding those different types of armor that we need to navigate the challenges in life. Now, let's imagine you have a dream about a hero or a heroine.
Oh, heroes and heroines. I always think of those figures who inspire us to be, be braver and stronger, more compassionate.
Exactly. And dreaming of a hero or heroine often symbolizes those aspects of yourself that are brave, strong, determined to overcome obstacles.
It's like our dreams are showing us our own potential for heroism, those inner qualities that allow us to face our fears and to really make a difference.
Precisely. And, encountering a hero or heroine in your dream could be a sign that you need inspiration or guidance.
Yeah, it's like a reminder that we all have that inner strength, that we can all be heroes in our own way.
Exactly. We all have that potential.
Yeah.
Now, for a symbol that's often associated with concealment, with mystery, let's talk about hoods.
Hoods. Okay, those can be a little bit creepy, like, those figures who want to hide their identity.
They can. They definitely evoke that sense of mystery and sometimes even a little bit of fear.
Yeah.
The book suggests that dreaming of a hood often symbolizes those aspects of yourself that you're hiding,
No.
keeping secret. Maybe thoughts, feelings, desires that you're ashamed of or afraid to reveal.
It's like our dreams are showing us those masks that we wear, those ways in which we conceal our true selves from the world.
Exactly. And, context is important here. A hooded figure in a dark alley might represent a fear of the unknown, whereas a monk wearing a hood could symbolize a desire for spiritual retreat and solitude.
That's a really interesting distinction. It's like our dreams are showing us the different ways in which we use concealment, whether it's for protection or maybe even, deception.
Precisely. So what about hospitals?
Hospitals, yeah. I mean, they can be a little daunting, but they're also places of healing and hope.
Exactly. And dreaming of a hospital often does symbolize a need for healing,
Okay.
whether it's physical, emotional, or spiritual.
So it's like my dream is pointing to those areas of my life where I'm feeling wounded or depleted, reminding me to prioritize self-care,
Precisely. And, the specifics can offer more clues.
Okay.
Being a patient might symbolize surrendering to that healing process.
Okay.
Whereas visiting someone in the hospital might represent a desire to offer support to someone else.
That's a beautiful interpretation. It's like our dreams are reminding us that we're all connected, that we can heal ourselves and each other through acts of care and compassion.
Exactly. It's a beautiful reminder of that interconnectedness. So what about hunger? Have you ever had dreams about being hungry?
Oh, yeah. Hunger is such a primal, powerful feeling.
Is.
It's like, that basic need that drives us to seek nourishment.
Exactly. And in dreams, hunger often symbolizes a a yearning for something more,
Oh, okay.
maybe emotional nourishment, spiritual fulfillment,
Yeah.
a deeper connection with yourself or with others.
So it's like our dreams are reminding us to pay attention to those areas where we're feeling empty or unfulfilled, and to really seek out those experiences that will nourish our body, mind, and spirit.
Precisely. It's about feeding your soul as well as your body.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, what about hunting?
Hunting. That's a primal one, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. I think of those instincts that drive us to pursue our goals, to overcome challenges.
Exactly. It's about strategy, skill,
Yeah.
that primal urge to provide.
Right.
And the book suggests that dreaming of hunting often symbolizes those aspects of yourself that are ambitious, driven, determined to achieve your goals.
It's like our dreams are showing us our own inner hunter, those instincts to go after what we want, those challenges that we face along the way.
Precisely. And, the details can be really important here.
Yeah.
Hunting a dangerous animal might represent facing your fears.
Okay.
Whereas hunting for food might symbolize a need to provide for yourself, to take care of your basic needs.
That's fascinating. It's like our dreams are using the symbolism of hunting to show us like those different ways that we pursue our goals in life.
Exactly. It's about understanding those different motivations and challenges. So ice.
Yeah.
Have you ever had dreams about ice?
Ice. Yeah. I think of those things that are like frozen or hidden away.
Mm-hmm. The book suggests that dreaming of ice often symbolizes those emotions that you've kind of frozen or suppressed. Like maybe you're afraid to express them, or you've numbed yourself to protect yourself from pain.
Oh, wow. That's powerful. It's like my dream is showing me those parts of myself that have become hardened, those places where I've kind of closed off my heart to protect myself from getting hurt.
Exactly. And sometimes those dreams are a reminder to thaw out those frozen emotions,
Yeah.
to allow yourself to feel more deeply,
Yeah.
to reconnect with that warmth and compassion.
I love that. It's like those dreams are reminding us that it's okay to be vulnerable, to experience that full range of human emotion.
Precisely. It's about embracing the fullness of who you are. Now let's imagine you have a dream about an icon. What comes to mind?
Icons. Okay, so icons represent those things that we hold sacred, those symbols that inspire us, those figures who guide us.
Exactly. Dreaming of icons often symbolizes those beliefs, values, those principles that you hold dear.
So it's like my dream is showing me my own personal pantheon of guiding lights.
I love that. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And the specific icon can offer further insights. Like a religious icon might symbolize a connection to your faith, whereas a cultural icon
Yeah.
could symbolize your values or aspirations.
Okay, that makes sense. What about if someone dreams about being imprisoned?
Imprisoned. Well, that's a tough one. I mean, nobody wants to feel trapped, right?
Right. It evokes that sense of being like restricted,
It does.
Yeah.
Powerless.
The book suggests that dreaming of imprisonment often symbolizes those limiting beliefs,
Okay.
those negative patterns,
Yeah.
or even those self-sabotaging behaviors that are keeping you stuck.
So it's like those dreams are showing us those bars that we've built around ourselves, those self-imposed limitations that prevent us from
Yeah.
experiencing true freedom.
Exactly. And it could also represent external circumstances that are making you feel trapped.
Okay.
Like a job you hate.
Or a relationship that's no longer serving you.
Okay, so it's about recognizing those areas where we're feeling trapped and finding a way to break free.
Precisely. It's about reclaiming your power. Now, indigenous people, what comes to mind when you think about those cultures?
Oh, indigenous people. Yeah, I think of a deep connection to nature, ancient wisdom, like a way of life that's more in tune with the rhythms of the earth.
You're right on track. The book says dreaming of encountering indigenous people often symbolizes a connection to your roots, your ancestral wisdom, those parts of yourself that are intuitive, wise, connected to nature.
Yeah, so it's like my dream is inviting me to tap into that ancient wisdom that resides in all of us, to learn from those cultures that have honored the earth for centuries, to reconnect with my own innate intuition.
Precisely. It's a beautiful message. And remember, different indigenous cultures can carry different symbolic meanings. Like dreaming of Native Americans might represent a connection to nature and spirituality, whereas dreaming of African tribes might symbolize, rhythm and music and those primal energies of life.
Wow, that's incredible. It's like our dreams are taking us on a journey around the world, introducing us to these different cultures and traditions.
They are. It's
Yep.
all about expanding our perspective, our understanding of ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, now what about injections?
Injections. Okay, those can be a little scary, but they can also be life-saving, right?
They can.
So I would imagine that it represents those times when we need to like receive something from the outside to heal or to change something within ourselves.
You're exactly right. Dreaming of an injection often symbolizes a need for healing, for transformation,
Okay.
whether it's physical, emotional, or even spiritual.
So it's like my dream is showing me those areas where I'm feeling wounded or depleted and reminding me to be open to receiving help and support.
Precisely. And pay attention to your reaction to the injection in the dream.
Okay?
If it brings relief, that could symbolize a willingness to embrace healing,
Okay.
whereas resistance or pain might represent a fear of change.
Okay, that's a really good point. What about injuries? Because those are never fun.
No, they're not, but they're a part of life, aren't they?
They are.
And the book says that dreaming of an injury often symbolizes those areas of your life where you're feeling hurt, wounded, vulnerable. It could be emotional scars
Yeah.
from the past, or maybe current challenges that are causing you pain.
So it's like our dreams are showing us those tender places that need our attention, those wounds that need to be acknowledged and healed so we can regain our strength.
Precisely. And the location of the injury can be significant.
Okay.
An injury to the head might represent a blow to your ego, a challenge to your beliefs.
Oh, okay.
Whereas an injury to your legs could symbolize feeling stuck or unable to move forward.
That's really interesting. So it's like our dreams are giving us this like body map of our emotional and psychological state.
Exactly. They're showing us where we're holding tension,
Yeah.
where we need to focus our healing energy. Now, isolation. What comes to mind when you think about that?
Isolation. Yeah, that's definitely not a pleasant feeling. You know, those times when we feel like cut off from others,
Mhm.
from our community or even, from ourselves.
You're right. It's not. It's a tough one. And dreaming of isolation often symbolizes those times when you're feeling disconnected, from yourself, from
Yeah.
others, from your sense of purpose, from your sense of belonging.
It's like those dreams are showing us those walls that we build around our hearts to protect ourselves from getting hurt.
Exactly. Those fears that keep us from reaching out for connection and support. But, sometimes these dreams can also be a sign that you need some solitude, some time alone
Mhm.
to recharge and connect with yourself.
Oh, that's a good point. So it's about understanding the context, and whether that isolation is self-imposed or if it's something that's being forced on us.
Precisely. It's all about understanding the nuances of those messages.
Mm.
Now, kidnapping, what about that one?
Kidnapping. Oh, that's a scary one.
It is, right.
Mm.
I mean, nobody wants to feel like they're being held captive.
Mm.
And the book says that dreaming of being kidnapped
Yeah.
often symbolizes those situations where you're feeling controlled, manipulated, powerless.
So like those times when we feel like we've given our power away.
Exactly. Or maybe you're letting someone else dictate your choices, or you're feeling victimized by circumstances.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. And what if it's not about an external person? Could it be like about our own fears or insecurities holding us back?
Absolutely. Sometimes it represents those parts of ourselves that we've rejected or disowned. Those
Mhm.
shadow aspects that are trying to sabotage us from within.
Okay, that's a good point. So it's like we have to face those fears and really integrate those shadow parts so they don't control us.
Precisely. It's about reclaiming your power.
Right.
Now, what about labyrinths?
Labyrinths. Oh, those are so intriguing. Those journeys that twist and turn, leading us on this unexpected path to our center.
Exactly. And the book says that dreaming of a labyrinth
Mm-hmm.
often symbolizes your own journey of self-discovery.
Okay.
Those twists and turns, the dead ends, the detours,
Yeah.
they all represent the challenges and the growth that we experience as we navigate life.
It's like a reminder that the path to wholeness, to enlightenment, it's not always a straight line.
It's not. It's messy. It's unpredictable,
Yeah.
full of twists and turns, like you said.
Yeah.
And navigating a labyrinth in your dream, that could represent those times when you're feeling lost,
Okay.
uncertain about your direction.
Yeah, I've definitely felt that way.
We all have. And it's a reminder that clarity and purpose, they often require patience and perseverance
Mm-hmm.
and a willingness to embrace the unknown.
Yeah, that's a beautiful metaphor for the journey of life. And what about landscapes? I feel like the natural world is so full of like symbolic meaning.
Oh, it is. It's rich with symbolism. And dreaming of landscapes, it often reflects your own inner emotional landscape, you know?
Ugh.
It's like your dream is using the language of nature
Hmm.
to represent the terrain of your inner world.
So, like, mountains might represent challenges, valleys might symbolize a need for rest, and then forests could be like those unexplored parts of ourselves.
You got it. Each type of landscape can symbolize a different emotional state, a different aspect of your journey.
It's like our dreams are giving us this, like, personalized map of our inner world.
They are. They're showing us those different terrains we need to navigate and the resources that are available to us along the way.
Okay, I love that. What about lenses?
Lenses. Oh, those are all about perspective, aren't they?
They are. About focus, seeing things in a new light, you know?
Yeah. The book suggests that dreaming of a lens often symbolizes a need for clarity,
Okay.
a need for focus, maybe a shift in perspective.
So it's like our dreams are showing us those lenses that we use to filter our experiences.
Precisely. It's a
That's right.
reminder that we have the power to choose how we see the world.
Okay.
And, different types of lenses can represent different ways of seeing. A magnifying glass
Okay.
could symbolize a need to pay attention to detail,
Okay.
whereas a camera lens
Yeah.
might represent a desire to capture a specific moment.
Okay, that's a cool distinction.
Yeah, it is. Now, light. Light is always such a powerful symbol. What comes to mind when you think of light?
Oh, light. Yeah, it's about hope, truth, spiritual awakening, all of those things.
You got it. Dreaming of light often symbolizes those moments of insight, those breakthroughs that illuminate our path
Okay.
and guide us towards, a deeper understanding of ourselves.
Oh. It's like those aha moments when everything suddenly clicks into place.
Precisely. And different types of light can represent different types of illumination.
Okay.
Sunlight, that
Yeah.
might symbolize warmth and vitality, whereas candlelight, that might symbolize a more introspective, spiritual kind of knowing.
That's beautiful. It's like our dreams are reminding us that we all have that potential to be like beacons of light, to shine our own unique radiance.
Exactly. Now, lightning. What about lightning?
Oh, lightning. Yeah, that's definitely a powerful force. It's both like exhilarating and a bit terrifying at the same time.
It is. It's a force to be reckoned with. And the book suggests that dreaming of lightning often symbolizes a sudden revelation, a breakthrough in consciousness, or even a powerful emotional experience that can transform us.
So it's about those big shifts, those moments of sudden insight, or even those times when our emotions just kind of like erupt.
Exactly. And lightning can also represent those intense emotions that we might be holding back.
Okay.
Like anger, passion, or even, creative energy just waiting to be unleashed.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
really cool. What about lines?
Lines. Well, they can symbolize so many things. Boundaries, directions, connections, even the paths that we choose to follow in life.
It's like our dreams are showing us those structures, those rules, those decisions that shape our destiny.
Exactly. And pay attention to the type of line,
Okay.
a straight line that might represent a direct approach, whereas a curved line
Okay.
could symbolize a more flexible or indirect path.
That's really interesting. It's like our dreams are giving us a roadmap
They are.
of our options.
Exactly. Showing us those different paths we can take. So what about locks?
Locks. Okay, well, locks can be both protective and restrictive, right?
They can.
Like they can keep things safe,
Uh-huh.
but they can also, keep things locked away.
Exactly. And dreaming of a lock often symbolizes those aspects of yourself that you're keeping hidden. Maybe secrets, fears, desires that you're afraid to confront or reveal.
It's like those parts of our hearts that we've closed off, those things that we need to kind of unlock to experience, greater freedom.
Precisely. And the action of locking or unlocking, that can be really significant too.
Okay.
Locking a door might represent a need for privacy,
Okay.
whereas unlocking a treasure chest could symbolize discovering a hidden talent.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So it's like our dreams are giving us those keys
Mhm.
to unlock our own potential.
Exactly. Now, the lottery. Have you ever dreamt about winning the lottery?
Oh, yeah. I mean, who hasn't, right? It's that dream of winning big, having all your problems solved.
It is. It's a common dream.
Yeah.
And dreaming of the lottery often symbolizes your attitude towards risk, reward, those possibilities of sudden change.
So it's not necessarily about like actually wanting to win the lottery,
Right.
but more about like our hopes and fears about those big life changes maybe.
Precisely. It can also reflect those times when you're feeling lucky
Yeah.
or unlucky,
Yeah, yeah.
those hopes and dreams for a better future. And pay attention to whether you win or lose in the dream.
Okay.
Winning could symbolize feeling fortunate, while losing
Okay.
might represent
Get
a
it.
fear of missing out.
Okay. I can definitely relate to that. What about luggage?
Luggage. Oh, that's a loaded symbol, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like all that emotional baggage that we carry around with us.
Exactly. Dreaming of luggage often symbolizes those past experiences, those limiting beliefs,
Hmm.
maybe even old habits that are weighing us down.
It's like our dreams are showing us what we're holding on to, those things that we might need to unpack and release.
Precisely. And the actions you're taking with the luggage can be significant. Like packing could represent preparing for a new chapter,
Yeah. Okay.
whereas unpacking might symbolize letting go of the past.
Oh, that's a really interesting distinction. So it's about understanding like what we're bringing with us and what we're leaving behind as we move forward.
Exactly. So what about mediums? Have you ever dreamt of a
The
medium?
mediums, yeah. I mean, they're so fascinating.
They are. They're like that bridge between the physical and the spiritual world.
Right. And what does it mean when they show up in our dreams?
Well, the book suggests that dreaming of a medium often symbolizes a desire to connect with your own intuition,
Okay.
to access that inner wisdom that goes beyond our rational minds.
It's like our dreams are reminding us that we all have that potential to be mediums in a way, to tap into those deeper levels of knowing, to receive guidance from, those unseen forces that are all around us.
Precisely. It could also represent a need for guidance or support,
Yeah.
a desire to connect with your spiritual side,
Uh,
or even a longing to communicate with someone who's passed away.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
It is.
It's like those dreams are reminding us that we're not alone, that there's this whole other world of support and guidance available to us.
Exactly. We're all connected. So what about metal?
Metal. Okay,
Yeah.
well, metal is strong, it's durable,
Yeah.
it's like the foundation of so many things in our world.
Exactly. And dreaming of metal often symbolizes those aspects of yourself that are strong, resilient, unyielding, maybe your inner strength or your ability to set boundaries.
So it's like our dreams are showing us our own inner fortitude, those qualities that allow us to kind of withstand the challenges of life.
Precisely. And, different metals can carry different symbolic meanings.
Oh, like what?
Like iron often represents strength and determination,
Mm-hmm.
whereas gold often symbolizes wealth and spiritual enlightenment.
Oh, that's fascinating. It's like our dreams are speaking to us in the language of metals, using their unique properties and symbolism to reveal our inner strengths.
Exactly. Now, money. What about money? We all dream about that.
Oh, yeah, money. I mean, it's such a loaded symbol in our culture.
It is.
But I am curious, like, what does it mean on a deeper level when it shows up in our dreams?
Dreaming of money often symbolizes your values, your resources, your sense of self-worth.
Okay.
It's like what you deem important, where you're investing your time and energy and your beliefs about abundance and prosperity.
So it's not necessarily about like greed or materialism, but more about like understanding our own relationship with money, with those resources.
Exactly. It's about examining those beliefs and how they might be shaping your experiences.
Okay, that's really helpful. What about a mosaic?
A mosaic. Oh, I love those. All those little pieces coming together to create something beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I love that imagery. It's about those unique fragments creating this larger, more beautiful whole.
You got it. Dreaming of a mosaic often symbolizes the multifaceted nature of your being, all those different parts of yourself that come together to create that unique tapestry of who you are.
So it's like our dreams are reminding us that we're not just one thing, that we're this collection of experiences and talents and personality traits, and it all kind of blends together to create something beautiful and complex.
Exactly. And, the different colors and shapes in the mosaic, they can represent those various aspects of yourself, your strengths and weaknesses, your
Yeah.
passions, your experiences.
It's a beautiful reminder to embrace all those pieces, to honor our complexity and to see the beauty in our imperfections.
Exactly. Now, what about mold?
Mold, okay, that's not the most pleasant image.
It's not. Nobody likes mold, do they?
No, no, not at all. It's like those things that are decaying or stagnating, those areas of our lives that we've kind of neglected or allowed to fester.
Exactly. Dreaming of mold often symbolizes those areas of your life that need attention.
Yeah.
Those thoughts or beliefs, those habits that are no longer serving you, and they're preventing growth.
It's like my dream is telling me to do some like emotional spring cleaning
Yes.
to get rid of all that clutter.
Exactly. And, pay attention to where the mold is in the dream.
Yeah.
Mold in your home might represent, issues in your personal life, whereas mold at work,
Yeah.
that could symbolize dissatisfaction with your job.
Okay, that's a good point. Okay, so what about music? I mean, music is so powerful, it can evoke so many different emotions.
Oh, it is. It's like the language of the soul.
Right.
And dreaming of music often symbolizes those aspects of yourself that are creative, expressive, connected to that rhythm of life.
So it's like our dreams are encouraging us to embrace our own creativity, to find our own rhythm and to express ourselves authentically.
Precisely. And, different types of music can represent different emotional states. Like upbeat music might symbolize joy and celebration, whereas calming music could represent a need for rest and relaxation.
That's so cool. It's like our dreams are creating a personalized soundtrack for our lives,
They are. They're reflecting those highs and lows, those moments of joy and sorrow. So what about dreaming of something new? What do you think about that?
New. Well, that's got to be about like those opportunities for growth and transformation. Like maybe those new ideas or relationships or experiences that are kind of inviting us to step outside of our comfort zones.
You're exactly right. Dreaming of something new often represents those opportunities that are emerging in your life. It's like an invitation to embrace change and to step into the unknown.
And what if it's like specifically something new, like a new house or a new job?
That's a great question. Pay attention to those details because they can offer more clues.
Okay.
Like you said, a new house, that might symbolize a change in your identity or a new chapter in your life.
Okay.
Whereas a new job might represent an opportunity to express your talents in a new way.
Okay, that's really cool. It's like our dreams are planting these seeds of inspiration and encouraging us to trust that the universe is supporting our growth.
Exactly. It's about being open to those new possibilities. So what about nourishment?
Nourishment. Oh, that's so important.
It is.
It's about taking care of ourselves on all levels, physically, emotionally, spiritually.
Exactly. And dreaming of nourishment often symbolizes those things that feed your soul, those experiences that bring you joy and purpose and a sense of connection.
So it's about like really paying attention to what truly nourishes us, filling our cups with those things that make us feel like alive and whole.
Precisely. And, different types of nourishment can represent different types of needs.
Mm-hmm.
Eating might symbolize a need for physical nourishment,
Okay.
whereas spending time in nature might represent a need for spiritual sustenance.
Okay, that's a cool distinction. It's like our dreams are giving us this like personalized menu of all the things that will nourish our bodies, our minds, our spirits.
They're showing us what we need to thrive.
Yeah.
Now, onions. Have you ever dreamt of onions?
Onions, yeah. I mean, they're not the most, glamorous symbol, but I do think of like, those layers that we have to kind of peel back to get to the heart of something.
Exactly. They can be a bit pungent, but they add a lot of flavor.
They do.
And the book suggests that dreaming of onions often symbolizes wholeness.
Wholeness.
Those layers that make up our being.
Okay.
That process of peeling back those layers to reveal our true selves.
Oh, I love that. It's like those dreams are reminding us that we're complex beings, with so many different facets to our personalities, and that the journey of self-discovery is about exploring those layers and integrating them into this more authentic and whole self.
Precisely. It's about embracing all those different parts of who you are. Now, what about an operation?
An operation. Okay, so those can be kind of scary, right?
They can be.
But they're also about healing and transformation. Like, you have to go through a procedure sometimes to remove something that's causing pain or to repair something that's broken.
Exactly. Dreaming of an operation often symbolizes those areas of your life where you need to make a change. Those patterns, beliefs, maybe even relationships that are no longer serving you.
It's like my dream is performing surgery on my life,
Yes.
cutting away those things that are causing pain or preventing me from thriving.
Exactly. And pay attention to your reaction to the operation.
Okay.
If it's a successful operation, that could represent a willingness to embrace that change.
Yes.
Whereas a painful or unsuccessful operation
Yeah.
might symbolize resistance to change.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's about, recognizing those areas where we need to let go and to create space for something new to emerge.
Precisely. Now let's talk about partnerships. What comes to mind when you think about partnerships?
Partnerships. Oh, that's about collaboration, sharing those relationships that enhance our lives, that help us to achieve our goals.
Exactly. Dreaming of a partnership often symbolizes those aspects of yourself that you need to integrate.
Yeah.
Or those qualities that you're seeking in others.
Okay.
Maybe desire for balance, a need for support,
Yeah.
a longing for connection.
So it's like our dreams are showing us that we're not meant to go through life alone, that we need each other to grow, to learn, to create something, something beautiful together.
Exactly. And, the type of partnership can offer more clues.
Okay.
A romantic partnership might symbolize a desire for love and intimacy, whereas a business partnership might represent a need for collaboration.
Okay.
Shared success.
Oh, that's really interesting. What about people in general? We're constantly interacting with people, and those encounters can be so symbolic, I would imagine, in our dreams.
They can. Dreaming of different types of people often represents different aspects of yourself, or those qualities that you're projecting onto others.
It's like those people in our dreams are acting as mirrors, reflecting back to us those parts of ourselves that we might not be fully aware of.
Exactly. And the book highlights some really interesting examples, like dreaming of your shadow, which is often represented by a figure of the same sex. That can symbolize those parts of yourself that you reject or deny.
Oh, okay.
Dreaming of old people.
Yeah.
That might symbolize wisdom, experience, a connection to your ancestors.
Okay, that's fascinating. And then I would imagine that the qualities of those people, how they behave, what they say, that those things could offer clues as well.
He's great. Absolutely. A friendly stranger might represent a new opportunity.
Okay.
Whereas a menacing stranger might symbolize a need to set boundaries.
Okay, that's a good point. What about position? Like where we are in relation to other people.
Position. That's an interesting one. Where we are in relation to others.
Yeah.
That can be really telling. Like, for instance, being on the left side.
Okay.
That often represents intuition, your unconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas being on the right side symbolizes, logic, your conscious mind.
Okay.
Being on top might suggest feeling in control, while being underneath could represent feeling, vulnerable or powerless.
That's really interesting. It's like our dreams are using like these spatial relationships to kind of represent those power dynamics, their social hierarchies that we're navigating.
Exactly. It's all about understanding those dynamics and how they're playing out in your inner world. Now, what about winning a prize? Have you ever dreamt of winning a prize?
Oh, yeah. I mean, winning a prize always feels good. It's that symbol of, achievement, recognition, that feeling of like your hard work has paid off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dreaming of winning a prize often symbolizes those accomplishments, those moments of recognition that boost your confidence and inspire you to even greater heights.
It's like our dreams are celebrating our successes,
They are. They're acknowledging your efforts. And, the type of prize can offer more insights.
Okay.
Winning a trophy might represent a competitive achievement.
Okay.
While winning a lottery could symbolize a, a stroke of luck,
Oh, that's a cool distinction.
Yeah. So what about quivering? Have you ever dreamt of quivering?
Quivering. Okay, yeah. I think of those times when we're like overwhelmed with emotion,
Yeah.
whether it's fear or excitement.
Exactly. Dreaming of quivering often symbolizes those intense emotions that are just shaking you to your core.
It's like our dreams are amplifying those feelings and really bringing them to the surface so that we can acknowledge them and process them.
Precisely. And the context can be really important here.
Okay.
Quivering with fear might represent a need to confront your fears,
Oh, okay.
whereas quivering with excitement could symbolize a thrilling new opportunity.
That's a really interesting point. So it's about like paying attention to the nuances, of those feelings, of those emotions.
Exactly. It's all about those subtle details.
Yeah.
Now, what about rafts?
Rafts. Okay, well, rafts are about survival, right?
And they are.
Those times when we need to stay afloat. Yeah.
In challenging circumstances. And they also make me think of like adventure and exploration, those journeys into the unknown.
You're hitting on all the key themes. Dreaming of a raft often symbolizes those times when you're navigating through uncertainty or change, those situations where you need to rely on your resourcefulness and resilience
Okay.
to stay afloat.
So it's like those dreams are reminding us that we have the strength and the determination to kind of navigate those choppy waters and to come out on the other side, stronger.
Precisely. And, the material of the raft can be significant.
Oh, okay. Like
A sturdy wooden raft,
Yeah.
That might represent inner strength.
Okay.
Whereas a flimsy inflatable raft
Yeah.
could symbolize a need for more support.
Oh, that's a good point. So it is about understanding what kind of resources we need to lean on during those challenging times.
Exactly. Now, what about reading?
Reading. Oh, I'd love to read.
Me too. It opens up these whole new worlds and ideas and ways of thinking.
It does. It expands our horizons.
And what does it mean when it shows up in our dreams?
Well, the book suggests that dreaming of reading often symbolizes a desire to learn,
Okay.
to expand your knowledge, to explore different perspectives.
So it's like our dreams are encouraging us to be like lifelong learners.
Exactly. To stay curious.
Yeah.
Always be seeking, new information and experiences. And pay attention to what you're reading in the dream,
Right.
A textbook might represent a need for practical knowledge,
Okay.
whereas a novel could symbolize a desire for escapism or a deeper understanding of human emotions.
That's a really cool distinction. It's like our dreams are giving us a personalized reading list.
They are.
Yeah.
They're guiding us towards those books and those ideas
Yeah.
that can nourish our minds.
Ah.
So reflections. What about reflections?
Reflections. Okay, well, I think of those times when we need to kind of look at ourselves more closely, examine our thoughts and behaviors, to really, really understand ourselves.
You're exactly right. Dreaming of a reflection often symbolizes a need for self-reflection,
Wow.
time to look inward
Yeah.
and to examine those aspects of yourself that you might be projecting onto others or avoiding.
It's like our dreams are holding up a mirror to our soul and encouraging us to be really honest with ourselves, about our strengths, our weaknesses,
Yeah.
and to, to make those necessary changes to really become more aligned with who we truly are.
Precisely. And, the clarity or distortion of the reflection, that can be significant too.
Okay, like what?
Like a clear reflection, that might represent self-awareness, self-acceptance.
Okay.
Whereas a distorted reflection might symbolize a need to address those aspects of yourself that you're not quite comfortable with.
Okay, that's a good point. So it's like those dreams are kind of giving us a measure of how clearly we're seeing ourselves.
They like